Well, I got up, and this is my solution. Um, I don't know. I was trying to get back to sleep or trying to move on, but apparently I couldn't. I didn't really want to get up, and I didn't want to talk about it. Um, it's like there's no good that can come from it, I don't think. But apparently, it's like, well, I even care what I think about it now, later. It's like, no, it'll just be something that, just another thing that's like, yeah, there was nothing I could have done about it then, and it's like, it was what it was, and yeah, it was a really bad situation, and there wasn't really anybody that was seeming like they wanted to do anything or help anything, and they were just content to just stand back and let it happen. And it's like, I'm just alone in it, dealing with it. It's only once a week. I'm talking about West Virginia, and it's like there's no good outcome. It's like I don't have, any uh, real say in it. I and I feel like I'm the only one that knows what's going on because I'm the one that she talks to. Great. I asked her point blank, "Have you talked to Uncle Jim about it?" And she said, "No, he doesn't know anything about it." And it's like it's her only brother that actually visits her a couple times a month because he only lives like 2 hours away, and by his choice he goes and visits her, when he can, um, when he can, and he doesn't know anything about it. So I don't know. I kind of think I might be being lied to. The facts of the matter might be being exaggerated. It might not be as bad as what she makes it out to be. And I know it's bad. I know it is because it was when I was there in January of 2020. But I mean, if it was really, really that bad, you'd think that somebody would do something about it. So I think, I kind of almost am led to believe that she might just be being overly melodramatic and embellishing the details and only telling me the worst of it to attempt to play on my emotions and to get me to do what she wants me to do. And, that is to, she wants me to move back to West Virginia to, take care of her and run her errands and take care of her, her regular business stuff. And it's like, no, I didn't want that then. I still don't want it now. And it's just it's fallen to pieces, the whole thing. The whole thing just needs to be sold, gotten rid of, torn apart, dismantled, whatever. It's like she needs to be put in a nursing home or assisted living, a small apartment where, she has a nursing attendant, check on her multiple times a day, give her medication, make sure she's doing okay. As she falls down, she hurts herself, she needs medical care, and her mind is going to, probably early signs or late signs, because it is tough to talk with her. Signs of dementia, Alzheimer's. She's had a hard life, but it's not all from situation. It's from, being afraid. A lot of it, you know. And it's like I can't help her. It's, I like to say it's never too late for new beginnings. But whenever I suggest or have suggested in the past, this is going back decades, when I started becoming old enough to recognize that there was definite problems, and you know, and they weren't my responsibility. Um, and I just saw that I didn't want what she had, and it's like I just needed to, you know, separate myself before I got drug along, you know, and I mean drug. It's like, jeez. And Jack, yeah, he's gotten, he's just, he's clear. He doesn't have to worry about it. He's, you know, he might be the bad son or whatever that means. And he probably feels some guilt and maybe some shame, but you know, I'm sure he doesn't think about it all that much. You know, he's got other things. He's got his wife and his kid and this whole Wisconsin life and job and you know the weight of the world, all that stuff. You know, it's tough carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. I don't think it's all that bad up there either. I think a lot of us, we are, you know, very good actors in our family. And I don't know if it's just my family or other people's families, but at least in our family, we have a lot of actors. And even, you know, we have a few actors. But then even the ones of us that aren't actors, um, we have acting affectations, aspirations, you know. We like to, um, I don't know, maybe it's not melodrama for the sake of melodrama. Or is that just being human? I don't know. There's all these rules and things about, and it's like, I can't tell what is normal, you know, and when I'm being, uh, I just, so anyway, I had a bad dream. You know, I woke up from that and I've been trying to deal with it in silence and just a license short of a steering wheel. What does that mean? I don't know. In the dream, um, I think, and I knew what I was doing, and I seemed like I knew where I was going and what I was, you know, but I don't know anymore. But I was in West Virginia, someplace unfamiliar. Um, at the top of a hill, I was parked. I don't, I was in, I think it might have been a rental, and I was at the top of a steep hill, parked, and I was in an unfamiliar area. I didn't recognize it, and you know, I was going to the car, and I, you know, had to, you know, get it out of the emergency brake, so you know, because it was on a steep hill, and then you know, as I was starting to pull away, some other person, you know, was kind of yelling at me for being in their parking space, and I'm like, I'm going, and I'm going down the hill, and it's, you know, I'm very bad about being in different locations and understanding traffic patterns and how, you know, what is an okay or safe maneuver versus, you know, for the terrain and traffic and time of day, and like, so, and I was stressed out about something, and I didn't want to be where I was, and I didn't want to be doing what I was doing, but apparently I had to do whatever it was, and get to the bottom of the hill, and I see that it's like a really steep transition onto the, you know, the road below, which is going, you know, and I had to turn right, and the traffic was going, you know, more like this, and I had to turn all the way right, which is more than a 90 degrees, so it's like more like a 135 degrees, so like a right and a half, because I had to kind of turn back around, and as I was making the turn, like the sun was coming from that direction, and there was traffic coming from that direction, and so as I made the turn, the other traffic had to slow down as I was pulling around an overly wide turn, and I had to go into the opposing lane to make the turn successfully, and then get over, and I couldn't help but notice as I was making the turn, there's a state trooper in part of that line of traffic, and I look in my rear view to see it and I was like, oh, there's another state trooper. Oh, good. So within a couple seconds, he lights on, you know, some sort of traffic or moving violation or something. And of course, whatever car I'm in has out-of-state plates. And so I find what looks to be like a nice little clear section to pull over and get investigated for whatever. And aside from that little turn that got attention, and I was like, yeah, all right, well, let him look at me, this person, and 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 so both of the troopers, because the other one that was going the other direction, he turned all the way back around, and he was behind me too. So I had two troopers' cars parked behind me in this section of road with all this traffic going by on the other side, and I'm just in just a bad spot. You know, I'm just not happy, obviously, and like they have weapons, you know, on their sidearm, you know, and that's just never makes you feel comfortable. And you know, because they're doing it, they don't know who they've got. It could be anybody, and they don't know who I am. And so like there was like one kind of standing off, just guard, keep a watch for, you know, suspicious activity. And the other one starts interviewing me, asking me questions, and he's just automatically in a really hostile, aggressive, you know. And apparently I'm too relaxed, and my lack of defensiveness and is off-putting, suspicious how relaxed I am. So I don't remember all the questions anymore. It's been a little while since the dream, because I debated even getting up and doing this. But I don't know. And I was in West Virginia, and I didn't really, and you know, I've been in that situation before. It's been a long time, but it's like anything that you say is, you know, can be seen as like, oh, he's trying to make up excuses, and you know, it's like, oh, it's just a story, or he's lying. It's like, because you just immediately get, you know, you're treated like a criminal. You know, and well, you know, if you're pulled over, you know, for traffic violation, I guess technically misdemeanors, or I don't know. I don't really care. It was just a bad dream. But I will make a note of it, because it's happened before, where it's like, oh, I remember this. And I just get a bad sense of things. It's like, oh, oh. And so it's like, I don't know. I think it might have been Morgantown, but I don't know what hill it was. I don't know what street it was, but that layout kind of looked familiar. But I don't know why it would be in Morgantown. Yeah. Hmm. So anyway, I'll keep my eyes open for it, if I remember, and maybe this will help. You know, now that I've kind of locked it in. Otherwise, you know, in the past, I just rely on myself. I just remember these things, and then when it actually happens, or I think it's actually happening, or something close to it, it's like get that, and it's like, oh, okay. So, I'll just pay attention, be aware, because I hate getting pulled over, and it's really annoying. In that situation, because I woke up, and it would have been fine. I knew in the car I had all the proper paperwork, and I would just have gotten a ticket. But the most frustrating thing was because I didn't ask him. I didn't hear my own voice. But my question was, what's the charge? You know, because I wanted to know if it was because of that moving violation, or like I had to make the right turn, and I didn't see a no right turn sign. So but it was just an awkward turn that caused me to get attention. And it's like, oh, they pulled me over to make sure I don't know. But, well, we pulled you over for not having, or it was either having or not having a license without a steering wheel. And then I heard somebody else say it was like a $4,000 fine. What? What does that even mean? A license without a steering wheel. So anyway, it was just, I think it was just my mind at the last second, like, oh, he asked a question we weren't expecting. And my mind just came up with something really, really quick on the fly. And it's just like, okay, and then throw a number at it. Distract him. He's waking up. Good, good, good. Abort, abort. So I caught myself off guard in my dream, with an unexpected question. Not supposed to ask certain questions, I guess. Not ones that I'm not prepared for. That's crazy. Weird. But anyway, so apparently I'm upset about West Virginia and the conversation I had last night. It is so difficult to talk with her, and it's like at different points, it's like I just and I'm just listening to her talk, and it's not like and that's the best I can do. Is just let her talk and just listen. And it's like I don't really have much to say when she's telling me stories that she's told me over and over again from her life as she remembers them and thinks she's telling me for the first time. And I don't argue with her, and I don't, I rarely mention that, I've heard it before. She likes to tell the stories, so let her tell the stories. And she doesn't really have any new details. It's the same story. And she feels the same way about it. She laughs at the same parts of it, or chuckles, and she expects it to be entertaining. She doesn't understand why it's not entertaining. So that's kind of sad in its own right. But, I play along sometimes. I don't know if that helps or not, but I think it helps just her to, because she doesn't have that much social interaction either. So her talking to me once a week, it's like, that might be it for that week if, my Uncle Jim doesn't, drive in to visit her for a few hours. So it's really it. But that is the life she chose, and I didn't put her there. She chose to be there. And there's that whole story that leads into there and how she got there, and that's her story. And it's not that I'm not interested, and it's not that I don't. It would just take too long, and that's not the point of this. This is outside. That would be outside the scope and magnitude of what this is, which I don't even know what it is, but I will know what I am talking about. That's what it is. It's reminders to me about it's like what was going on for me at this time, and how it was affecting my decisions and thoughts and dreams. Because apparently it is. And I think like all these things, they're going on right now. It's like because that was one of my waking thoughts. As I was like, it's like I get that feeling of like I just need to shut down. I just need to go away. It's like reevaluate, back off, just because that's I get overwhelmed, and she doesn't mean it, and I'm defending her now. And she doesn't know what it puts me through. She just is scared to, be alone. And but I can't do anything about that. And it's not my job. So I shouldn't feel guilty about it, or I shouldn't feel shamed about it. And it's not like I'm being the good son, or being the hero by even, the thought of like, oh, I should, just totally abandon everything that I'm doing here and go back to West Virginia and be the good son and take care of my mom in her final years, or it might be a decade. It could be 2 decades, And do I want that? No. Just because that's what, she did for her mother, it's like, I'm not her. And it's like, that's what she chose because it was the easy thing for her to do. And it made sense to her, I guess. But that's not what I'm doing. So, it's like I wish there was something I could do more that would help ease her suffering. But her suffering is of her choosing and of her making. And it's like, I didn't choose it for her. And I didn't, So that's the basics of it. It's like, I did not choose her suffering. So I shouldn't have to live in it with her. So I got out at the right time. And the worst, or the shame would be to go back. That would be the shame of it. Would be to choose to go back, knowing what I know. So don't do that. It's like the same thing with anything that's going on right now. It's like, if I already know that there's something, it's like, well, just don't do that. You got out, or separated, or, for a reason. Just trust in that. It's like nothing has changed about that situation. So it's like, it took a long time to get up the nerve, or to get separated and stay, let it stay at rest. So find a resolution to it. So just trust that. And it's the same goes for other things too, except for the opposite. It's like I don't know exactly, it's like, as far as like, I can lose hope and lose a little bit of belief, but I just remember that, it's there for a reason. So it's like, just continue. It's like, I can't remember exactly, but well, anyway, it's really early in the morning, and I'm just kind of rambling off. Do I feel better? Maybe. Now, like everything I've said, it's like, well, I can stop thinking about it. So, I'm still annoyed though. A little angry. Oh, and I did hear something that I'll probably mention it another time because I liked it so well. But as far as like other people getting to know me, and then for me getting to know other people, when other people want to get to know me, and it's like I don't seem like I am all that interested, it's because it's not that they're and this is what I read from some other, but it makes sense. It's not that they're competing with other people for my time. They're competing with my comfort zones. Because I'd rather be alone most of the time. So if they're asking for time, or wanting to do stuff, or hang out, or wanting me to want to, It's like they're not competing with me, like, with other people. They're competing with my comfort zones. Because, so same applies for me wanting to get to know other people. People have established routines, established habits, and they might prefer them over taking time for me, or getting to know me, or all that kind of stuff. So I'm not that cool. It's okay. So I don't know. I don't mean and it's like, for me, in my experience, it's like, I don't mean to be. It's not saying anything negative about them. It's not saying that they're not good people or they're not interesting people. They're just, I've already got an idea of what I'm doing, and it's like, I like my idea of what I'm doing versus, it's like, and of course sometimes the people in question is, no, I really, I don't find you that interesting, and I don't enjoy our conversation, so I'm looking to get away from it as quickly as possible without being rude. So when I feel that same treatment, it's like, oh, everybody's, cup of tea, cup of tea. Yeah, not everybody's cup of tea. Mm. And it's just a shame. Well, not a shame, but it's understandable, I guess, that, being the way that I am and how I am, a lot of people are just not my cup of tea. And it doesn't mean that I feel like I'm better than anybody, and it doesn't mean that I feel any worse than anybody. I don't know. I connect with the people I connect with on different levels, at different times, to different degrees. Um, so it's about intensity, I guess. So, yeah. So anyway, there goes another video. 25th of January, 2021. It's a Monday. And it's going to be snowing out today. So, another video for the archive that probably no one is ever going to see. And I'll probably never even watch this again. I've found that I've stopped even watching these. I just make them and put them up, and there they go. And I don't even describe what I talk about. It's just, they just go up blank. And it's like, good luck to anybody ever watching one. They're not designed for anybody to watch. They're just for me to have down and then gone. So they're not for, it's content, but it's not for anybody for consumption. It's not fit for consumption. It's unpalatable because it's not made nice, and it's not pretty, and there's no description, so I don't do that, apparently. I'm a very selfish person. But aren't we all? I don't know. Some questions I shouldn't ask. But I don't know. Being selfish, I don't know what that means exactly, because everything's selfish in a way. Self-care, selfish. This is self-care. Is this selfish? Everything's self-care, in a way. And so some self-care, is harm. So that's, I guess, another topic when people are, when my own habits or self-care, is a harm to anybody else, I guess that's when it crosses the line. The boundary, the border, the trespass. So, anyway, I should go. It's been half an hour. These videos, man. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go again and start uploading. It's crazy. And there won't be a sunrise today because it'll just be gray out. So I don't even think I'm gonna. Anyway, the world is waking up. I should go.